This is Paul Burrell, Princess Diana's butler, turned keeper of her secrets, turned celebrity, turned villain. He's one of the few royal servants to have spilled the beans. In books and interviews, he's told us all sorts of intimate secrets, but he claims he's still holding something back. Is he bluffing, or did he actually dig up something incredible whilst working at the palace? And if so, what on earth is it?
You got it? I got it! I got it!
Ah! My name is Jaques Peretti. I'm a journalist. Like everyone else, I've been fascinated by this strange and elusive character and what he really knows. I set out to find who Paul Burrell really is and meet the people who know him. Family, lovers, friends. They would completely alter my understanding of not just Burrell, but the royal world of secrets in which he operated, and the big secret that he might know. Today, Paul Burrell lives in America, where he is treated not as a villain, but as royalty.
How do you do, Your Royal Highness?
How do you do? That was the best one yet.
How do you do, Your Royal Highness?
How do you do?
As well as presenting TV shows like American Princess, he sells wine under his own regal brand, Royal Butler Wines. He's rumoured to have made £20 million from his books and businesses.
Hi. Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Jack.
In Britain, he is discredited, but in America, he has a Hollywood agent, Al Nevins.
Do you look after Paul here in the US?
I do. I look after his television appearances, his book deals.
What would be your dream project for Paul that you could get him onto? What would be the ideal?
A dream project. Well, I suspect at some time there will be some form of a major feature film done about the princess.
And who would you like to play Paul Burrell in that film?
Well, I hadn't even thought about that. We'll have to find somebody handsome.
Do you think that Paul still has secrets that he hasn't told yet?
I know he does. I know he does.
But I wanted to know what the secrets are. It's a long way from Grasmore, the mining village in Derbyshire where he grew up, to Hollywood. How did Paul do it? First of all, he was the loyal butler, tick. And then he turns into a traitor, tick. We've had plenty of them in our history and we love all our traitors. And then, third, he became a Z-list celebrity, tick. So he's kind of like, we get 3 for the price of 1. We get 3 lives wrapped into this one weird man. At the inquest into Diana's death last year, Burrell was asked to reveal his big secret. He came up with nothing. But days later, in a New York hotel room, he was secretly filmed saying this.
Well, I didn't tell the whole truth. When you swear an oath, you swear an oath to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I told the truth as far as I could, but I didn't tell the whole truth.
Then I remembered something else weird. In 2002, he'd been on trial for stealing hundreds of Diana's possessions, and to the amazement of everyone in Britain, he got off, because the Queen had suddenly remembered a conversation she'd had with Burrell 5 years before. What was that about? This is Paul's father, Graham, who still lives in Grasmore, where Paul grew up. He has never given a TV interview before. I wondered if he could give me any clues as to what Burrell was like as a kid.
Now, this one with the bay window, this is where we lived till Paul was 18. And that's when he left home to go to college. He wanted to get on in life, and there's nothing in Grasmore, only mines. And his 2 brothers went down the mine, and he wasn't cut out for it.
Graham's home was a shrine to Paul and the royal family, and a record of a life before it went wrong, and the world turned against Paul.
Well, he didn't do things normal children do. They want to go out playing, don't they? They want to go footballing. But he didn't want nothing like that. All he wanted to do was stay in, studying, and that was his life. Different lad altogether. He didn't like being dirty or anything like that. He used to cry if he was dirty. Yeah, he got to be changed all the time, smart.
Graham was telling me that from a very early age, Paul felt different and was treated differently. He was never going to go down the mine. He was determined to get out, and he was ambitious.
We took him down to London and stood outside the gates of the palace, Buckingham Palace. He said, "That's for work there one day."
Yeah, he stood outside the gates of Buckingham Palace and he said, "I'm going to work here one day."
Yeah, and I just
Fantastic.
patted him on the back and I said, "All right, Duke." I said, "You mind, kid."
This is Super 8 footage Graham shot visiting the palace when Paul was a child. The standing outside the gate story is the Burrell family's treasured fable about Paul, repeated in his book. But there was another story in the book that I found more revealing. The real motivating force in Burrell's childhood seemed to be Beryl, his mother. Paul had applied to work on a cruise ship with Cunard Liners, but Beryl had other plans for his future.
2 letters come one day, and his mother opened them. One was from Cunard, one was from the palace. And she said if he went to Cunard, she'd never see him again. So she burnt it, and he never knew he'd had this letter till his youngest brother told him at the funeral when she died. And he never knew. And he said his mother, she altered his life. She chose his destiny.
Graham was telling me that Burrell's destiny began with a deception, a decision that the ambitious Beryl made to push Paul to the palace, where she felt her different son would fit in and thrive. I wondered what Graham made of the stories the press have tried to unearth about Paul.
How do you find it? I mean, because he's been in the tabloid papers a lot, you know, with headlines this and that.
Well, I don't believe nothing the papers say, because I know different. The papers twist things.
I mean, some of the allegations, you know, whether that he's gay. You know,
No, he's not gay. He's got 2 grown-up sons. He's not gay. I suppose you could get a reputation like that with the people you mix with. Because, I mean, in them circles, they're all gay at Palace. You see?
Graham is very proud of Paul, but as I spoke to him, I began to realise that he now has little or no contact with his famous son.
When am I next seeing him? Now that is a question I'd like to know myself. I'd love to see his big home in Florida, but I don't know if I ever shall or not. He's never invited me. Now that's one of the questions makes me wonder why. No, he never invites me.
Graham seemed an honest, sweet and open man, but tinged with sadness. I wanted to meet Paul's younger brother, Anthony, who was inseparable from Paul as a kid. Like his dad, he too still lives in Grassmore. I wondered if Anthony could tell me about his relationship with Paul.
He came into papers and made all this money in papers, and he went to a celebrity. And in a way, we're losing contact. I mean, that shouldn't happen. Why drift?
why?
What caused us to drift?
Why? What is causing?
Because I think it's fame, and I think it's money. And that's what's drifting us. As much as I love him, we're growing apart. And I've got to say it. Even though it's on film, I've got to say it. You don't realise where he's losing. Shouldn't do this. Shouldn't cry.
This wasn't at all what I'd set out to find. I was taken aback by how upset Anthony was. His family had been very open towards me, but they seemed left behind by Paul, who'd always felt and behaved separately from them. But I still wanted to know if Paul had confided in either about what his secrets might be.
Do you think that Paul still has a secret, and what do you think it might be?
I'd like to know what he knows, but I shall never know, and I don't think anybody will. No.
If he's a poker player and he's got the cards, then I can't fault him, can you? I can't fault him one bit. I've played my cards when I've got to. That's what poker players do, don't they?
I liked Anthony's idea of Paul as a poker player, that he'd played his cards when he needed to. Neither Burrell's father nor his brother knew Burrell's big secret, because they weren't privy to his inner thoughts. But I was about to meet someone who was.